Hello, everyone. My name is John Pennant. I lead the technology industry practice at EisnerAmper, and we're a proud supporter of this conference. It is my pleasure to introduce Rochelle Routman to do our next presentation. So she's going to talk to us a little bit about the Living Building Challenge, Embodied. Rochelle, please take it away. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here today. I have some amazing pictures and an incredible story to talk with you about our new global corporate headquarters for HMTX Industries. And this is what we're going to talk about. I first wanted to show you this very fascinating photograph on the left. It's called a murmuration. And this is just an example of how nature communicates around the topic of the environment. And these are starlings, and they form these incredible clouds in which they communicate with one another about food sources and predators and things like that. And so I would love for us to communicate with one another today about this other environmental topic regarding this amazing building that we've built that incorporates many, many aspects of sustainability. So here's an overview of what we will, discuss today: our corporate purpose statement, the why of the House Upon the Hill, which we call it lovingly, a little bit about the Living Building Challenge and the HMTX pedal pursuits, the timeline and the credit and the general details, and hopefully we'll have some time for Q&A. So just a little bit about our company. First of all, you can see our 4 brands, and these all fall under the main umbrella of HMTX Industries. So we have HMTX Commercial, which includes Technofloor and Aspecta. And those are 2 amazing and beautiful brands for the commercial customer. HMTX Global, which serves end users worldwide, really with diverse channels focused on 2 specific brands, Aspecta and Allure. We also have the Halstead brand, which is the leading supplier of resilient flooring to home center markets throughout the country, and Metrofloor, which is our signature brand in North America. So again, I just wanted to introduce you. You can see some beautiful photographs below of some of our products that we make. And again, we are in the resilient flooring business. So before I delve into our whole project here with our new global headquarters, I wanted to familiarize you a little bit with our corporate purpose statement. And our corporate purpose statement really drives our initiatives. As you can read here, it involves making beautiful products that improve the quality of people's lives. We're driven by innovation, care for the planet, and compassion for all of its inhabitants. And we do encourage you to work with us to make a difference. So why did we build the House Upon the Hill? Well, simply put, to bring people together. We've been experiencing through COVID something that we've never experienced before, which is a splitting of people apart and making people feel isolated from one another. Well, we decided that it was time to get beyond that and to actually bring people together into this amazing space that will be a place for architects, artists, designers, engineers, all sorts of creative thinkers and designers and disruptive people to come together and talk about what might be, and then to make plans on how to make these things happen. We really want to create an amazing environment for people to exchange ideas together. And here you can see on the left, this even started before the building was built. We had hard hat tours, and on the left there you see some Yale architectural students. And the 2 middle pictures are some of our employees enjoying the grand opening event. And the one on the right, that happened to take place during the ribbon cutting ceremony. And there you can see Harlan Stone in the middle, who is our CEO, and Jason McLennan on the right, who is the architect of this incredible building, and Jim Hines is there on the left. The other thing I want to mention is just to encourage people to come together and to be together. We even have guest rooms in this building. There are 4 guest rooms, one which is ADA compliant, and this will help people have even better exchanges of ideas and communications. They won't be troubled with having to find a place to stay in the area. They can actually just stay right there in the building. So I do want to talk to you a little bit about the Living Building Challenge and why this is so important and who administers this program and what this is all about. So if you're not familiar with the Living Building Challenge, it is really the signature program of the International Living Future Institute. And the International Living Future Institute is a nonprofit whose mission you can see there. They're very focused on creating communities that are socially just, culturally rich, and ecologically restorative. And I have been a big fan of theirs for at least the last 10 years. And I have a very strong belief in the work that they're doing. It's very, very important. And I encourage you to all learn as much as you can about them. So the Living Building Challenge is a philosophy. It also deals with advocacy to make things better in terms of maybe changing laws to create more environmentally friendly buildings. And it's also a green building certification program. So this is not just a regular off-the-shelf green building certification. It's really more than that. It's much bigger. And, you know, the focus on this is really to change the world to make it a better place. So the Living Building Challenge uses the metaphor of a flower, and we will talk about petals. But first, I want to mention that, again, unlike many other green building certification programs, you really have to prove yourself with the Living Building Challenge. And there has to be a 12-month performance period in which data is gathered. And later on in the slide presentation, you will see some data control panels. And this information is recorded to prove that, in fact, the building is performing the way that it is, that it's meant to perform. And then finally, after the 12-month performance period, the building will earn certification. So the other thing about the Living Building Challenge is that to have full certification, all 20 imperatives are mandatory. However, there's another option, petal certification, in case you are not able to complete all of the 7 or all the 20 imperatives. And in fact, this building is going for petal certification. And we are pursuing all of the petals except for the water petal because there were difficulties in complete circularity of all the water used in the building, including black water, which I'll talk a little bit more about all the other great things we are doing with water. So even though we're not able to achieve that petal, we're still doing a lot of very important work on water conservation and water efficiency. And here's a slide showing each of the petals. So I just want to familiarize you just briefly. There's place, water, energy, health and happiness, materials, equity, and then beauty. And what I'll do is I'll show you each petal and how our building relates. So let's talk about the place petal, first of all. You can see on the left there, this building is basically floating on top of a huge rock outcrop. And it's so impressive because, of course, this maintains wildlife corridors. So wildlife can still move freely past the building as they, continue along their foraging habits and that sort of thing. And in fact, the building has restored the local, this particular building site. From what used to be there, there actually will be more vegetation and it will be a better site once this is all completely finalized. Also part of the Living Building Challenge, you have to have some level of food production on site, which we will have. There you can see some apple trees. I know they look a little bit young right now, but once they grow up, I assure you that we will have delightful bunch of apples, bushels of apples that will be enjoyed by the employees. And also there will be berry bushes also providing food. And there are also numerous trees and shrubs that have been planted. Here's just a picture of a few of these on site, but the entire site will be very wooded once all these shrubs grow up. We maintained as many of the trees on site that we could, but like I said, overall, we are increasing the tree cover. So in terms of the water pedal, well, I just would be remiss if I didn't show you a picture of the water closet here. This is a dual flush toilet, and it uses only 0.8 and for the low flush and 1.6 for the higher flush gallons per flush, which is the lowest that is available right now. The faucets are also very low flow. You can see that 35 gallons per minute. We're very happy about that. And on the right, the rainwater storage, and pardon me, I believe that's 0.35 gallons per minute. And on the right is the rainwater storage control center, which is it's a 5,000 gallon rainwater tank that we have for gray water. And you can see in the image there on the control panel that it shows that this tank is currently half full. So really we can always check on this and see how are we doing with rainwater storage control. And that's certainly a very important aspect of this site as well. Okay, in terms of energy, well, this, one of the biggest, most pertinent topics of our time is renewable energy. This is a picture that was taken by a drone. You can see this whole elaborate array of solar panels on top of this building. This is just one of the energy saving and renewable energy sources that we have on this building. I do want to point out that in accordance with the Living Building Challenge, we will be generating more energy than what will be used. So the panels themselves will generate about 144,000 kilowatt hours a year of energy, and we estimate that we will be using approximately 20,000 less kilowatt hours a year. And this is, again, just very cutting edge work in terms of building construction and building science. And continuing on with the energy aspect, we've thought of everything, even solar charging stations for computers. You can see the image there on the left. Also, our solar panel control stations will show the amount of energy that is being generated by the solar panels and how much is being returned to the grid. The picture on the right is a picture of our battery storage. So very few buildings have renewable energy storage available in batteries, which allows usage at a later time. Again, just very, very innovative, and another aspect of how this building is just so unique. So let's talk about the health and happiness pedal. So this really deals with fostering environments that optimize physical and psychological health and well-being. And biophilia, or really the human belief or the feeling of love of nature, is felt throughout this entire building. And here we have an example of this gorgeous spiral staircase. And of course, this unique design and this spiral is found throughout nature. Of course, we're all familiar with seashells and different sea animals, but it's really found in many, many different aspects of nature. And we're just astonished at this gorgeous staircase, which I'll show you the overall picture in another photograph later on. Also, we have these beautiful interior stairwells, encouraging people to walk up the stairs instead of taking the elevator. So this is important, again, for human health, to encourage people to exercise as much as they can during the day. And you can also see the beautiful views throughout. We have daylighting, and really throughout this entire space, you can see the outdoors, which is also very nurturing, and it helps make people feel more creative, more productive, even helps them have more positive relationships with one another. So again, this beautiful staircase, and the railings are from reclaimed wood as well. So in terms of the materials, the main aspect of the Living Building Challenge is that materials have to be red list free, meaning that they are free of harmful ingredients, and they are therefore safe for all species through time. I do want to point out in this picture, as shown, we have two of our TechnoFloor products. The one in the foreground is Nature's Plank, and the one in the background is a sheet product called Naturescapes. And these products are both cradle to cradle certified. And also I want to point out are the beautiful planters, which relate to health and happiness and beauty. And who doesn't love flowers? And of course, these are an aspect of nature that makes us also feel happy. So equity, again, a very unique aspect of the Living Building Challenge. And I want to point out here, you can see this staircase, and there's boardwalks. So there's basically boardwalks surrounding this entire building with large plantings of new vegetation, existing vegetation. And these boardwalks provide access to the community. So not just the employees, but also to people that live near there. And there are some condo communities. They're welcome to come and use the boardwalk and explore nature and experience with us. Also, I want to point out that we have gender neutral and ADA compliant restrooms, which are not only more efficient, but it also speaks very boldly about the importance of gender equity and how people view themselves. So I also wanted to mention that HMTX, we have our own JUST label, which is another product of the Living Building Challenge. It's a program that allows companies and different organizations of all types to pursue a transparency label for social justice. And we are very proud that we are the very first ones that secured a social justice label under the new 2.0 version. And we are not aware of any other flooring companies that have pursued the JUST label. And we have done two of them. This is one in 2020, and this is our second one done in that was done more recently. And you can see that we have actually increased our score in many, many areas. And we're particularly proud of the engagement aspect. We've increased our gender diversity. We have expanded our healthcare options. You know, all of these things relate to employee equity. And we really are going to continue to improve upon this. So here's the picture that I promised, showing the staircase from the ground level. And this is the great room. And who certainly would not feel uplifted being in this beautiful space? So we also will be incorporating art throughout this entire building. I can't wait to see the art collection that will be available. I'm sure that, you know, other people, including visitors, and as I mentioned before, the whole idea of this building is to bring people together. So we will have many, many visitors. And I do encourage those of you that are listening today to let us know if you're interested in having a tour of this building. But I will next be showing you a solar sculpture by Stephen Lowy. a street art mural. That's a mock-up of what we will see soon by New York City graffiti writer Turn. His name is Todd Bamondi. And also, as I mentioned, we will have a vast collection of inspirational art, artifacts, and gifts of nature. So there's this solar sculpture. It lights up at night. I believe the name of this one is T Square. And it's just such a cool, modern piece of artwork. And again, it's here to delight the senses, not just during the day, but in the evening. How wonderful that you can go up on the roof in the evening and see this glowing, unique geometric image from this sculpture. It's just really, truly a work of art. So we really appreciate that Mr. Lowy contributed this. And there you can see, again, the mock-up of what our new graffiti will look like on the building, and this will take place on the upper floor. And Todd has been working very hard on a scaffolding doing this artwork, and we can't wait to see once this is done, because again, this will, points to this whole beauty concept and how we are bringing people together. People that we may not have even known before are coming together and contributing to this amazing building and this amazing space. So in terms of the timeline, we do, I want to let you know that this has been going on for a while. The initial design conversations began in the fall of 2017. The design phase has been going on, for 18 months, started in January of 2018. We do expect to have all of our petals accrued by the end of this month, which is very exciting. So that will be a big moment for us. And again, as I mentioned before, there will be 12 months of performance data that will be collected and reviewed before we finally achieve our goal of earning Living Building Challenge petal certification. And that is targeted to take place near the end of 2023. A few credits and some general details. The location of this building is in Norwalk, Connecticut. It's very close to the White Plains Airport, in case you are interested in visiting, and that's in New York. Also, it is a 4-story building, approximately 23,000 square feet. The owner is Stone Realty. I think I want to mention that again, our owner of this amazing organization, Harlan Stone, was the one that conceived of this. He's been thinking about it for 20 years, and it's finally happened. The architect is McLennan Design. You can see the other team members, which we're all very proud of for making this happen. And with that, if we have time, maybe for a question or two, I'm happy to take those. And thank you so much for your attention and for giving me the opportunity to talk to you about this amazing building.
That was very cool building, that's for sure. It must be a great opportunity to really improve your recruiting and your collaboration amongst your team members and things like that. So it's terrific. And I guess that's sort of taking the embodiment of sort of the campus environments that some of the big tech companies have done even one step way further. So very, very, very cool. Something I'm sure you're quite proud of. So with that, I'm going to say to you, Rochelle, thank you very much. Very cool presentation. We appreciate it a lot. And we'll sign off here.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All righty. Bye-bye.